What is going on, Washington fans? Welcome to A to Z Sports Washington. It's your boy Josh Taylor. And man, we are down bad right now. That was that was the worst loss I can remember for Washington in a very long time. But I also think that's the worst loss on the NFL season. Like, show me a loss that was more embarrassing than that game. 31 nothing. The Vikings were 4-8 going into this game. 4-8. This is one of the worst offenses in the league. They could not score a touchdown on 22 straight possessions heading into this game. They scored on their first two possessions, and the second one was a 98-yard drive. So for me, it's just wow. Guys, we we need some help. We need some direction, and we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to talk about obviously Jayden Daniels going down on his arm again. Like, what should happen there? Talk about some Dan Quinn. Talk about what's next. Like where does this team go from here? Because there's not a lot of clarity. This is like going outside early in the morning. There's just fog everywhere. You have no idea. You have no idea where you're going. And that's how it feels right now. To be honest with you, I did not expect this in a million years at the beginning of the season. I was like, okay, maybe they'll lose it like more games than last year. Their schedule's harder, whatever. But I never expected this team to look like this. It's not even just like injuries. It's just like what we're seeing on the field, the product. Like, losing is one thing, but just getting blown out and not even competitive, like, that's a whole nother thing. That's a locker room thing. That's not even an on the field thing. You can talk about the missed tackles. You can talk about, like I said, the injuries. You can talk about not executing, whatever, but just not even being competitive. 0 points, y'all. 0 points. Like, last week was a completely different team against the Broncos. Like, that is what I expected to see against this Vikings team. So, like, what happened? That's what I want to know. What the heck happened between last week and this week? Was that 2-point conversion getting batted down just that much of like an emotional toll on the team to where like they just had this hangover? Like, is that really what it is? I just don't think so. Because they were 3-9 when they lost to the Broncos. It's not like they just missed the playoffs or something. Like, I'm confused, y'all. I'm confused. And I got some of y'all in the chat here, so we'll go through what's going on. Master Andrew, welcome. Alex said, I think we need to hit the reset button on defense, but not give up on DQ and JD5. We'll definitely talk about that because I've seen some crazy talk over the last 24 hours. What's going on, Justin? What's going on, Radar? Welcome. What's happening now was supposed to happen last year, so we back in rebuild mode on schedule. Like, it's crazy because I had someone tell me last night, like, oh, the Texans, like, talk about their defense. It took like three full seasons for them to really build up that defense. And I'm like, well, we're in year 2, and it's way worse than it was last season, which last season, I mean, the defense was bad. It had some bright spots. Mikey looked good last year. Like, there was a couple good things last year. Quan Martin played way better than this. But it's just like how does it take that big of a step back? And like, for injuries, I don't really want to hear it. I mean, for defense, like, I don't want to hear it like when it comes to like injuries. Dorrance Armstrong was the biggest injury loss of the season for sure. Get that. Dietrich Wise was pretty big injury, but then like Trey Amos, he didn't get hurt till late. So like, for me, like, there's not enough injuries to be like, oh, well, the defense was set up to fail. No, it was not. And if that's the case, then you did not do a good job to get those guys ready. Then you failed to build this team the right way. If 2 or 3 injuries to starters makes you look this bad, then you did not build the team properly. And as the head coach, Dan Quinn, you did not get this team ready if that's the case. If losing Dorrance Armstrong and Dietrich Wise for the season makes your team look like this, then you got serious problems. I know Will Harris was out for a while too, but I'm telling you, it is beyond the injuries. It is beyond the injuries because every team in the league has its fair share of injuries. I'm not going to tell you every single team that's missed somebody for a long period of time. I could show you the 49ers who were without Bosa, without Fred Warner. Like, are you kidding me? And they're still competitive. They're still probably going to make the playoffs. And we have seen one of the worst historical stretches of football ever. with just the losses of 21 plus points. It is so hard to lose by that much in today's NFL. And we're seeing it way too much for this team. I have nothing, man. Chef, what's up, Josh? I got a lot to say, bro. How the fuck you a professional NFL team? You let 9 score 31 points. You scored 0. That's a great question. That's a great question. And that I'm telling you, that was my biggest gripe. I never would have expected a 31-0 game. And honestly, if it was, I thought it was going to be the other way around because that offense was bottom 2 in like every category going into this game. Every category. JJ McCarthy could not buy a touchdown if it was free. It was bad. Like I said, 22 straight possessions without a touchdown. And then they face us and just drive down the field. The first 2 drives, like it was nothing. Like they were going against a high school team and dropped 31 points. I'm telling y'all, man, this was the worst loss of the entire NFL season. You cannot show me another game. I don't care what team it is. I don't care who it is. For this matchup, for this game, comparing these 2 teams, this was the worst loss of the season. And Dan Quinn was like upset after the game, and he was upset today in his press conference or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, it's unacceptable." But like, where's the answers? Like, what happened? As the coach, you have to take accountability and say, I didn't have these boys right. I didn't do something. Just saying, yeah, it's not good enough isn't good enough. It's not good enough. And I'm going to talk about DQ, man. This might be the first time where I am just, I think his seat should be hot. I really do. AP right now fuming. Hopefully, in reality, he's probably going to bring back a majority of the players. He can't. If AP is the kind of guy I think he is not happy about this game. Like, you could talk about the season, but I'm talking about just this game. This is the game where it was supposed to be Jayden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, everyone was back. Will Harris was back. This was the first time the full offenses played a single game together. First time Jayden has been able to throw the ball to Terry McLaurin since week 2. This was supposed to be the game. It ended up being the game, if you know what I'm saying. It ended up being the worst game of the season. How does that happen, man? I know it's been talked about a lot, but people are not stressing enough how bad this is. This loss is bad enough to where Dan Quinn should be on the hot seat. I'm not kidding. I don't care about all that rah-rah shit in the locker room. I don't care about the old players play for him. Do they really? Do players really play for Quinn? Because we didn't see it Sunday. We did not see it Sunday. Tell me one player that played for Dan Quinn on Sunday, and I'll show you a liar. I don't like going on these rants, and I don't like talking bad about the team. But if this loss does not piss you off, man, I don't want to just hear another, oh, well, they competed, or we're going to dig into it, or I'm going to take a look at it. You better look at it and come back with some real answers. Come back with some real answers, man. This loss is embarrassing. Embarrassing, man. I'm not kidding. This is for the first time since he got here. This is the first time I have been out on Dan Quinn. You cannot lose a kind of game like that and just expect, oh, the players play for him in the locker room. I'm not giving up on him yet. Then what is he going to take? Messing up the Jayden Daniels injury against Seattle, and then the multiple losses, waiting so long to make the change at defensive coordinator. You got blown out in 4 straight games by 21 points or more, and you still didn't make a change. You waited weeks later, then made a change, and now you're back to it. So now your scapegoat's gone. Well, he's in the press conference. The press box. You didn't even fire Joe Witt Jr. You just sent him upstairs so no one could see him. He is still there. Because you can't fall on the sword for your guy. Now the defense still sucks. But now you're the guy. So now everyone's going to look at you, DQ. Love you to death, man. I love that little bald head of yours, bro. I think he's a good person. But I'm getting to the point where I just don't think Dan Quinn is it. And I'm telling y'all, like, I don't think people also realize how crazy the whole Jayden Daniels injury thing is. And I wrote an article about it. Like, after the game, he said, I did not want Jayden Daniels to go back into the game because the team was off. Which he's right. The team was terrible. The team sucked. Once again, that's on you. But he said he did not want Jayden Daniels to go back out there because the team was off. Okay, got that. But the whole point of Jayden Daniels playing right now, not at 100%, is because you said that he needs these in-game reps. He needs the development. He needs to learn. So which one is it? You didn't pull anybody else. You did not pull any other starters in this game, but you pulled Jayden Daniels and kept him out. But you're saying that the reason he needs to play after that bad injury, which happened because you kept him out there during a blowout in the first place, is so he can get these in-game valuable reps and develop and learn. Well, tell me what he learned on the sideline Sunday once you took him out because he fell on his arm. If that's all it takes for you to hold him out is because he fell on his injured arm and the team looked bad, then shut him down. That's what the team's going to look like the rest of the season. You think it's just going to click next week and they're just going to be a top 5 team in the league against the Giants and they're going to beat the Cowboys and they're going to beat the Eagles twice? Hell no. This team probably is not going to win another game this season. So if you're just waiting for the perfect situation to put Jayden Daniels out there, oh, we're going to wait until the team's actually catching stuff. We're going to wait until the defense actually makes tackles. Then we'll put Jayden out there so he can learn, but only in a safe environment. That is bullshit, man. Either play him or shut him down. But I'm so sick and tired of this blurry line. Like, it's not fair. You think he's going to get consistent action, playing, not playing, playing, not playing? Like, make up your mind. Make up your mind. Because I am beyond frustrated, not even just with the losing, but how he's handling Jayden Daniels. Then he comes out today, we don't know if he's going to be able to play Sunday. Then shut him down, dude. Shut him down. What is he learning? What is he learning these last few weeks? Someone said, he needs to get rhythm and he needs to get, his end game reps. We had the chance on Sunday to get that. He could have gone back in the game against the defense that he was already in the middle of facing, a really good defense, and he could have learned on the fly. He could have seen a really good defense, a team that blitzes a lot, a Flores defense that's one of the best in the league. He could have got in-game reps, but you held him out because you said the team sucked. So which one is it, man? Make up your mind. I'm telling you, man, this is the first time I'm out on Quinn, bro. I am out on Quinn. DQ got out coached. Yep, for sure. Let me get back to the chats. I just had a rant, y'all, like that. This is the first time where I'm just like, everyone's like, oh, no, give him time. Give him time for what? He showed you that he can't make coaching changes. He showed you that he can't, like, I think his decision against Seattle absolutely rattled DQ. And he came out and said the first time, like right after the game, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't regret it, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day he said, man, I was wrong. I slept on it. I messed up. Like, that was my first thing. And I was like, I didn't like that. But whatever. I'm stick through it. I still like you, DQ. But then this whole, like, locker room thing, all the players play for him. Where? Who's playing for DQ right now? Who is playing for DQ right now? 31-0. 31-0. So tell me who was playing for DQ on Sunday. And that whole, guys, this looks so bad. I don't know if he was doing it for Hard Knocks or what, but after the Broncos game, the whole, we lost the game, but we're not lost anymore. And then you got, bent over and spanked the next week, 31-0. Like, guys, that blows my mind. You cannot say something like that and then come out here and do that. That tells me the players don't believe what you're saying. It looks good on HBO, though. It looks great on HBO. It looks great. But you followed it up with a 31-0 blowout. So who's going to tell me, DQ can win it all? Where? This season has been terrible for DQ. Terrible. Last season was great. I believed in him, but I'm slowly losing all faith in DQ right now. And I hate to say that. All right, back to the chats. DQ got to figure it out because all sides of the ball look terrible. I'm not sure we even bring in Cliff back at this point. To be honest with you, I don't think Cliff wants to come back. This was a season of hell for Cliff. It started with your star wide receiver holding out for all of the offseason. Then, slow start, and then he got hurt, missed 4 games, came back, got hurt, missed 4 games, had a great game. And then all these other injuries. And then you had Jayden, and you had that whole situation. Cliff's probably like, get me the hell out of here, y'all. Got to make moves. This game wasn't unexcusable. For sure. Shout out to my guy, Abdullah. Best in the business. I don't think Jayden played terrible. Honestly, I think he missed some read for sure, but they looked unprepared for the blitz. I mean, for sure. But that's the thing. Like, I could tell you that Brian Flores is one of the top, defensive coordinators in the league. And I could tell you that he loves those blitz packages. So did DQ not know that as a defensive-minded head coach? Did DQ not know that? Did Cliff not know that? I think Cliff had a bad game. I don't know what the hell he was doing in the red zone, trying to throw it to Brandon Coleman. Get serious. And I love Cliff. I think he's way better than people give him credit for. But you had the ball at the 1 yard line. And I know Debo didn't bring in that catch. He dropped that. Should have caught that. But, bro, run the ball. Why are you throwing it to Brandon Coleman? Why? I can't go through another coaching carousel. I can't go through another season of this. I can't. Do players play for Quinn or do the old guys just like the easier workload? Great question. Because even after a bye, they had that first practice off, which I thought was crazy. How are you going to have off 2 weeks, come back and rest the first practice? Crazy. Or that winning time moment speech. Tired of hearing that too. Not a single winning time moment except for week 1. They look like that was the best they've looked. The Chargers game, sure. They were missing both of their starting tackles. That rah-rah and motto bullshit gets old quick. It does. It does when you're getting your tail whooped. You can't sit here and say, oh, this, and that. Anyone, anytime, any place. Anyone, Washington, anytime this season, any place, on the road, at home, doesn't matter. Washington is getting that ass smacked every single week. Crazy thing is Dan trying everything he could and he still can't buy a win. Nothing. And that's how JD gets hurt, by trying to make a play after he threw an interception to Van Ginkel. For sure. Should not have done that. But at the same time, he's a football player. He's a competitor. He's going to want to do that for sure. I'm tired of hearing everyone talk about Jayden alone like he's Superman. It takes 11 players on the field, offense, defense, special teams, and fan base acting like Jayden can miraculously dominate these teams by himself. It's not 2024 anymore. And for sure. And if anyone thinks Jayden Daniels is the problem, then they are the problem. I saw so many people yesterday saying, Josh, we should trade Jayden Daniels. We should have took Drake May. We should have took Caleb. We should have this. We should have that. No, you saw last season what's possible. But when you have a malpractice at coaching and you have a terrible offseason of not properly building around him, like the Patriots did, getting Stephon Diggs, getting Milton Williams, I mean, just spending the money they had and drafting players, getting Kyle Williams. I mean, there's so many players that they got this offseason. They were active this offseason. And Washington said, oh, we're so close, man. Let's just play it easy and see what happens. And I know they went and got Laremy Tunsil. That's a great trade. Laremy Tunsil was the one positive outcome of this season. Thank God. Thank you, Laremy Tunsil. Love him to death. He's one of my favorite players on the team. Just another dominating guy. But, man, they did nothing this offseason. I'll be honest with you. I was a little too positive about it. I should have been more furious. I was like, I'm going to give AP the benefit of doubt. We did just make it there. I get not wanting to go all in and signing these free agents and getting in bad contracts. They don't work out. Then you're playing from behind. Screw all that, man. Screw all that. You were so close, and look what happened. Put your players out there that have not played this year. Let others sit out and find out what you have for next season to keep or trade for sure. And I mean, now Zach Ertz is out for the season. So there's another weapon that Jayden Daniels, his favorite weapon outside of Terry McLaurin, does not have. So, I mean, what is worth seeing next year for Jayden? What? Just shut him down, y'all. I was team don't shut him down, but now I'm very much, after what I've like heard from Dan Quinn and what I've seen him do over the last few days, let alone last few weeks, the last few days, man. We're gonna play him, but the team was too bad to play him. Oh, well, if he's healthy, he needs to play. Well, he was healthy, but I decided not to play him. Make up your mind, man. It's not fair to Jayden. Like, we saw, like, just the mental toll too. Like a player just getting injured over and over and over and over. Coming out of a game, Jayden, you can't play. I'm holding you out. I know you're healthy, but I'm holding you out. That is not fair, man. And I know it's such a hard conversation to have, but you just got to love on him and say, dude, I'm putting you first. We know you can play. We know you can be a superstar. We know what you can do for this team, but we cannot put you out there with this team. Dan Quinn's got to say, bro, I failed you, and I'm not going to fail you next season. That's what he's got to do. DQ's contradicting as fuck. Absolutely. It's driving me nuts. Love DQ as a person, but as a coach, he leaves a lot to be desired, and the franchise will come crashing down if they make the wrong choice. I can't, like, I cover this team for a living, and I can't keep up. I can't keep up if Jayden's going to play if he's healthy, or if he's not going to play because he's healthy, but the rest of the team looks bad. Like, I can't keep up. And I don't think enough people are talking about. I think too many people, like whoever you listen to, whoever you watch, whoever you read their stuff, not enough people are talking about this. Like, people are like beating around the bush way too much. Why do people not, like, why are not more people concerned about this? All these different answers we're getting from Dan Quinn about Jayden Daniels. Like, I'm so glad Adam Schefter came out today on the Pat McAfee show and said they need to shut him down. Like, what are they doing? Get him ready for next season. Next season is crucial. Oh my God. If next season is anything even remotely like this, if they get shut out once next season, Dan Quinn is fired. You have major changes. Josh Harris better come down and make major changes. If the season even gets remotely close to this, if you even see signs of a season like this happening next season, Josh Harris better come down and pull the plug on everything. So, like, if you really are worried about the future and his development and everything, then be consistent. Play him if he's healthy. I don't care if the team is down 30-0. If that is what you're saying, he's going to play when he's healthy, then you better do it. But if you're saying now, oh wait, he will play him if he's healthy, but the team's got to have a lead, or the team's got to be playing better. The defense has to be playing much better. It is so crazy to say something like that. And it blows my mind that, like, more people are so okay with it. And every week they're just like, oh, okay. Well, is Jayden going to practice this week? No. Okay. Is Jayden playing? Okay. Like, why are more people not, like, fired up about this? It blows my mind. People, I don't know, man. People are just okay with it. People are just okay with it. They don't want to question anything. And I mean, y'all know me. I don't get like this, but, like, this is beyond infuriating. Beyond infuriating. He is 100% subject to get injured in these last 4 games. I mean, it's a risk for any player anytime. No one saw Zach Ertz getting hurt in that one catch, but it happened. This is football. This is a contact sport. Everything you do is contact. Just about every single player on the field is getting hit or touched to some capacity, pause, on every single play. So if Jayden is not 100% healthy, you know that. You know he's not 100% healthy. He's going out there with the arm sleeve thing on. What I'm not going to call it a brace, but an arm support. So if you're going to play him, then play him. This whole snip, snap, ripping the Band-Aid off, putting it back on, ripping it off, putting it back on is not helping him at all. I'm telling you, that's making it worse. If you're going to sit him when he's banged up or when the team's down, then just sit him for the season. I don't think they beat the Giants. Giants coming off of a bye, then they finna run through these boys, dog. I don't think they beat the Giants. And if you really think this team's going to be competitive against the Cowboys or the Eagles twice, then you were delusional as a head coach. Delusional. So if that's the case, if Dan Quinn's not going to play Jayden when he's healthy, when the team is down by a certain amount of points, or when the team doesn't meet the standard, which they haven't done all season, then shut him down, because they're not going to be competitive in those last 3 games. The next week might be close. Who knows? The Giants are the Giants. I think they beat us. Put a gun to my head. I think it's 20-17 Giants. But if that is your criteria, if you have to check off 10 different things for Jayden Daniels to go into the game, then just shut him down, man. Shut him down. Shout out to my Commander's Cup. Gotta get some water. I remember we wanted Ben Johnson all along when he turned us down literally in the air of the plane while we were on the way to interview him. DQ was always our second choice. I don't know. I don't like Ben either. I think he's corny. Like, put your shirt back on, bro. DQ has lost his locker room. I mean, Merle, I'm asking that question. I'm genuinely asking that question. We heard he's a player's coach. Players play for him. People wanted to come here to play for him. Who? Like, I'll say Bobby Wagner, he tries. He's a great tackler. He's a leader. He loves DQ. Okay. There's a few players that are like trying. But 31-0, who watched that game and said, man, that player is giving his all for Dan Quinn right now? Nobody. And you are a defensive-minded coach. And you let the Minnesota Vikings drop 31 on you. John said you have defensive players that can't tackle. I saw in the Minnesota game, 3 Commanders tackled each other and never got a defender. I saw it too. 3 guys ran into each other at the same time. I think Jonathan Jones got banged up from it a little bit. And then the run, Aaron Jones on the right side, where it was like, I don't remember what the defensive linemen were that were right there to get him. But then Luvu just completely missed a tackle on him. Like, any kind of outside zone run is going for 5+ yards guaranteed on Washington every time. The Dolphins ran it all over them. The Vikings ran it all over them. Every team this year that has a zone offense, a zone running offense, they just ran the ball all over Washington this season. It didn't matter who was there. Did not matter. You had players trying to strip the ball, getting Bijan Robinson. I mean, you had 2 safeties going for the ball at the same time. Should have just wrapped up, tackled them. Instead, he runs both of them over and scores a touchdown. That's a game they should have won. But I'm glad they didn't at this point. Get that top 3, top 4 pick, whatever it is. Who cares about the Commander season? We got Phillip Rivers ball in 2025, which is crazy. If Phillip Rivers, in fact, comes back, God, that's crazy. Imagine Phillip Rivers leading the Indianapolis Colts in the playoffs in 2025. That's insane. Who could we get if Cliff leaves? I mean, I think Mike McDaniel's for sure my top guy, but the Dolphins are even playing well. I'm telling you guys, if you have a coach on the hot seat, if you got a team that can't compete, if you got a team that's getting talked nasty to on national media, come play the Washington Commanders. 1-800-Commanders. We will get you right for your season. If you have a struggling quarterback, if you have a struggling offense, call 1-800-Commanders and we will get you right. I mean, people were talking nasty about the Dolphins, and then bam, they play Washington and all of a sudden start playing competent football again. I'm telling you, it's like, oh, Mike McDaniel's going to be the head coach next year. He's probably going to be the head coach for the Dolphins next year. Like, he's not going to be the offensive coordinator in Washington next year. They're probably going to keep him because they're starting to play good again, because they played Washington. I'm telling you, 1-800-Commanders will get you right. This defense will let you have a field day. Fire up the mock drafts so we have something to potentially look forward to. I'm telling you, I'm going draft heavy. Like, I'm going draft heavy, free agent heavy. I mean, I'm still looking at like the current roster of players to build around. I have a lot of stuff planned this week. Don't worry. But man, everyone's seat should be high right now, AP included. I mean, as the GM, you're going to get your rebuilding period, but I get it. The first season, like the first off season, great. You made moves you had to. Second off season was complete opposite. Complete opposite. I don't get it. I don't get the approach. My dream scenario is we get the first or second pick and trade back with a team like the Jets or Browns and scoop up that extra first. But I can't wait for the Senior Bowl and free agency. I am so ready for the Senior Bowl. End of January needs to hurry up. These last 4 games need to hurry up. I hate to say it because in May, I'm like begging for, freaking Bowling Green versus Montana State, whoever. But right now, I'm so over this team. I'm so over this team. I am checked out from this team. Like I am just looking for ways to get better. I'm checking under every couch cushion, everything you can imagine, looking for ways for this team to get better. Man, they have a lot of work to do. Jayden needs to sit and get him bulked up for next season, get a good offensive line. I think the offensive line's fine. I think the offensive line is fine, honestly. I just think the rest of the team sucks. Play the man, he will leave. Jayden's not going to leave. Many was so bad they thought they could put him out there and win. Many had other ideas. We are the get right team. Exactly. We are the get right team. This ain't the Pro Bowl. Mr. Quinn, either play him or don't. You have 4 quarterbacks. 2013 all over again. That's what it feels like. These are players that AP and DQ decided to put on the team. And guess what? None of them are playing for them. Josh, this is the exact same team that let him play with broken ribs. I don't think he's healthy, but they will keep putting him out there, and I'm pissed. For sure. For sure. Is Adam Peters who we thought he was? Serious question. I'm still not out on AP, but I do want accountability from AP, and I want accountability from Dan Quinn. I do. I want accountability from all of them, honestly. Oh man, let me read y'all's chats. Just y'all are flooded. I hope it's not the same result when Washington drafted RG3 and it went on a period of having some losing seasons. The quarterback does not play defense. I mean, for sure, it's not. I don't think it's going to be an RG3 situation at all. But I mean, the defense has to play better. Has to play better. Organization doing exactly what they did to Robert, save him from himself. I don't want him to play anymore this season. DQ is like a favorite teacher at school where you know that he won't be hard on you and you'll get an A in the end. I mean, if that's not it, that's it. That's it. I feel like we gave more sitting outside screaming at the TV. Felt like it. We're going to stay lost. We are not just lost. We are on an island right now. JD5's ego and pride hurt more than any body part. But I get it, man. Like, if you're a quarterback, you're a young player, you want to play. I'm not faulting JD5 at all. Like I said, every player right now, it is week 14. Every player in the NFL has something hurt, bruised, torn, banged up, playing through concussions. I mean, T. Higgins had like 2 concussions on Sunday. He's playing through it. Like, it's just, I get it. I get it. He does want to go out there. But who is responsible for the players? The head coach. If I'm Jayden Daniels, I'm trying to play every single play I can. It's my non-throwing arm. It's not doing me any harm, like with my actual throws. Does it hurt? Sure. Is it uncomfortable? Sure. But who is responsible for the player? The head coach. No player is going to just say, man, I ain't playing. I'm hurt. And if so, that is not somebody I want on my team. That is not the competitive spirit I want on my team. I want someone who's going to say, I don't care, I'm banged up. I don't care if I got a broken toe. I don't care if I got a strain, whatever. I'm playing for my guys. But it's the coach's responsibility to say, I know, I get it, but let's be responsible. It is the coach's responsibility. Luvu getting cut this offseason? I don't think so. I mean, if anything, trade him, but I don't think so. I am worried that he is not a great tactician. He just cannot adjust the game. When the team starts losing, they just lose bad. Appreciate the super chat as well. Yeah, man, DQ cannot adjust the game when he starts losing, which is early in the game. How many early deficits has this team had? God, I could count. Let me look at the losses this season. Packers definitely was. Falcons was. Chargers was until they came back. Bears was. Cowboys, Chiefs, Seahawks, Lions, Vikings. I don't think they did against the Broncos. It was only 6-0, so I won't count that one. But I mean, a majority of the losses this season: Packers, Packers, Falcons, Chargers, Bears. Even though they beat the Chargers, they were down early. Cowboys, Chiefs, Seahawks, Lions, Vikings. That is 9 games. That is 9 games. That is so bad. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Josh, congratulations to your Alabama for making the playoffs. From a Buckeyes fan, how do you feel about the playoff rankings? I like it. I like that. I'm glad they got Oklahoma to get a rematch, and then Indiana in the Rose Bowl would be a beautiful game. But one game at a time. What's going on, Hayden? Welcome. How sold are you on Jayden? 10 being 100% sold. I'm 100% sold on Jayden because we saw what he can do. I'm telling you, I'm more concerned with Dan Quinn and this team than I am Jayden. I'm telling you, I had so many people. I had to block people yesterday on X or Twitter or whatever, saying like, oh, we got to trade Jayden or we picked the wrong guy. Stay on that side then. Because you saw what he did last year. He completely masked every flaw that was on this team last season and took him to the NFC Championship game. Like, you saw what he's capable of. I mean, he couldn't help the injuries. He couldn't help that Terry was out every time he was out there, except for like last week. You can't help that. I'm telling you. I still believe in Jayden, and if you don't, I think that's a shame. That is a shame. If your one takeaway this season is that you aren't sold on him, I can understand if you are concerned with his durability. I get that. I respect that. But that doesn't mean that you're out on Jayden. Saying, I don't know if he can stay healthy all the time. Joe Burrow can't stay healthy. Are they out on Joe Burrow? Hell no. Joe Burrow hasn't had a full season, I don't think, in his whole career. He is always hurt. Joe Burrow is always hurt. But they also haven't invested in the offensive line, so it falls on the team. Being worried about an injury does not mean you're out on a player. Am I worried about his durability? Absolutely. I love the guy. I want him out there for a full season. I want him healthy. And that's why I don't like these. I don't like him playing these last 4 games because of the inconsistency from Dan Quinn and the wear and tear that can be added to his body. And I get it, you have a full off season, but who cares? Your second season in the league, you should not be taking all these hits, the knees. I mean, multiple knee injuries this season. The arm, like, bro, I don't want him to go through that mentally and physically. I don't. Do I still believe in him? Absolutely. I'm blown away at how many people saw that game yesterday and said, I'm out on Jayden, man. I'm out on Jayden. Trade him. We took the wrong quarterback. Like, people, and it's not just this fan base, it's everyone. That's honestly what drives me insane. That is my number one pet peeve about sports. People are too emotional and they ride the wave. And I get it. You can change your opinion when you get new information, when things change. I get that. But too many people ride this emotional wave. They don't look at things, from an analytical standpoint. They don't look at the data. They don't look at the facts. They just speak off emotion. You see one game from Jayden Daniels. Oh, he's not the right guy. Josh, we drafted the wrong guy. Look at Drake May. Look at Caleb. Okay, well, what if they didn't look good? Then you wouldn't be saying that. Like, it's just people just ride this wave all the time, and they think that they're just right now. Like, it's so wrong. And then when Jayden comes back next year, he looks fantastic. They're gonna be like, oh, well, Jayden looks good. What happened? I thought you didn't want him anymore. I thought you said that we should have traded Jayden. I thought you said that we picked the wrong guy. Like, people just ride that emotional wave. Just, it drives me nuts. Can we get the Texas Tech defensive coordinator, please? Yes, I said that and people call me stupid. And they said, oh, Josh, Dan Quinn fixed the defense. And then 24 hours later, they got blown out. I'm telling you, I did that article saying that Dan Quinn said it was a possibility that he's the defensive coordinator next year, and he's still calling plays next season. Everyone's like, well, they look good against the Dolphins. They look good against the Broncos, Josh. I think he should be it. You look stupid. You look stupid thinking that Dan Quinn is going to be the defensive coordinator next season. You're an idiot if you think Adam Peters would allow that. Bro can't even play his own defense right now. Jayden has regressed, but there are reasons, starting with DQ. I don't want to ruin another quarterback, and it can 100% happen no matter the talent, for sure. But like you said, is everything on Jayden? No. Has Jayden held on to the ball? Has he, scrambled when he shouldn't? Has he taken hits he shouldn't? Absolutely. He had like Chris Moore as his wide receiver one in multiple games. Like, it's just, when you have what you have, like, what do you think? He's just going to like start throwing interceptions? Like, just be like, whatever. F it. Just full send. I'm going to just throw it regardless. No. Like, he did not have Terry McLaurin after week 2 until this past game. That's his number one target. I mean, he had Zach Ertz, which, he was pretty much the only guy he was throwing it to. He had Debo. Okay. Did a little something, but nothing crazy. But I'm telling you, if you think that Jayden has just regressed and he's just not a good quarterback anymore, like, what do you think? He just forgot how to play quarterback? No. He doesn't have his weapons. And the injuries have taken a toll. And then the inconsistencies. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it on the stream. The inconsistencies at coach. The decisions from the head coach. The play, the not play, the team sucks, you're not going to play. You're healthy enough to play, you're going to play. You're healthy, but you're not going to play. Like, what is it, DQ? I don't understand why more of the local media doesn't ask those questions. I don't understand why more people aren't upset about the answers we get from Dan Quinn. Like, I don't hear accountability. Saying, oh, the team's performance against the Vikings just wasn't acceptable. That don't do shit for me. That don't do nothing for me. I want real, we need real answers of why this team is not competitive. Jayden, no Jayden, I don't care. I don't care if you got Sam Hartman out there. Why is this team not competitive? Every draft pick should be defense, maybe a guard or center. I say defense, sure, but I'm not picking a guard and center. Sign Ayuk for sure. At this point, why not? Sign Ayuk. Give Jayden someone that he has a connection to. Jade is having a sophomore slump, not because of the injuries, but because he's just not playing as good. Like I said, is he having bad moments? For sure. But is it just because he's, playing bad? Is it just because he is a sophomore and that just happens? Or he just forgot how to play? No. There's more stuff to it, like context. But what if he looks like shit again next year? It depends. Like, is it just him throwing interceptions? Is it just him looking bad? Like, did the team just go all in and invest and do everything they're supposed to and he looks bad? Then we'll address that. Sure. But do you really think after what we saw last season that he's just going to be bad from now on? That's what blows my mind. Like, what about Jayden in a season where he's had, 3 different injuries? Hasn't had his starting wide receiver. Hasn't had his starting running back for the whole season. Like, what about this season has said Jayden's just not good anymore, y'all? Jayden's just not good. I'm honestly curious. I'm honestly curious. Like I said, is he holding the ball? Is he not making the right reads sometimes? Sure. Everyone is doing that. But please have the full context. Who is he playing with? You got Chris Moore and Robbie Chosen as his starting wide receivers. And you expect him to just have 300 yards and 3 touchdowns? And not me. I'm telling you, man, there's so much that has to happen here. The front office's best move this season, trade for Tunzel, sack Joe Witt, hasn't even been fired yet, which is crazy. Cliff has been inconsistent as well. I know we hardly talk about him, but it's true. It is. The running attack is driving me crazy, man. Like, it'll be Chris Rodriguez the first quarter, then it'll be like Jeremy McNichols the second quarter, then it'll be like Bill Crossing the third quarter, and then it's just whoever wants the ball in the fourth quarter. We're down 40-0. Whoever wants it can get it. The players this weekend were not connected at all. They haven't played together all season. They haven't, which is like, that was the one thing about DQ. Oh, he can get the locker room together. And we saw that last season when they were winning. We saw that. We saw the DQ that the players talked about. But when you're losing, who are you as a coach? When you're losing, then where is this togetherness? Where is this brotherhood we hear about? I don't see it. Maybe it's off the field. They have it. Cool. They're hanging out, whatever. But where's it at on the field? There's no accountability. You cannot lose a game 31-0 to the Vikings, who are just as bad as you are. They're clearly not as bad as you are because they just mollywopped you. But you can't win a game. You can't lose a game 31-0 to the Vikings and say, man, this locker room's together. We're playing for each other. We are doing. That is bullshit. I'm going to say what it is. You can lose to the Seahawks 38-14. I get it. They're a really good team. You can lose to the Lions 44-22. I get it. Really good team. Cowboys 44-22. I get it. But losing to the Vikings this late in the season, 31-0, is inexcusable on every single level. Do we take Ruben Bain or Jordan Tyson? I'd take Bain over Tyson. Right now, I'm concerned with Tyson. I love him to death. He's a great wide receiver, but he's got some injury concerns as well. He's got durability concerns. And the last thing we need is to draft Jordan Tyson at pick 6 or 7, and he's hurt. If you're going to do that, then get Cardinal Tate. What player coming out of the draft would be a game changer for us? I know it's a hot take. But say Washington finishes with the 4th or 5th pick. Hopefully they can trade back to 8, 9, 10. Get another pick this year, get like a 4th rounder next year, whatever, and take Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is the kind of player, I know he's a safety, but he's the kind of player, he's a blue chip prospect. He's the safest player in the draft, but he also has the highest ceiling in the entire draft, in my opinion. He's not just a safety. He's going to go back there and cover. Caleb Downs is going to hold, MFers accountable. I'm going to stop cussing on the stream. He's going to hold people accountable. He's going to make tackles. He's going to wrap people up. He's going to play in the box. He can play single high coverage, sure, but he can also be aggressive at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, stopping the run, stopping, like reading and reacting, getting players where they need to be. Everything this defense can't do, Caleb Downs can do it, and at an extremely high level. So I know it's a safety, and people keep telling me, Josh, he's not going to be there at 8, 9, or 10. We do this every single draft. Kyle Hamilton's not going to be drafted out of the top 10. He went, 14? Derwin James, Mika Fitzpatrick, they're top 10 guys. Didn't happen. Malachi Starks last season, Josh, he's not going to be there at 15, 16, 17, whatever. Won at the end of the round. Position value happens every year to safety. Every year. I think, where did Mika get drafted? I can't even remember. But he's the highest that a safety's been drafted in a long time. I forgot what year that even was. But back to like Kyle Hamilton and Malachi Starks. People kept telling me, Josh, Kyle Hamilton's not going to be on the board. He's not going to be there wherever we picked. I can't even remember. And sure enough, he fell just like everyone thought he would because he's a safety. Malachi Starks, same thing. Everyone's like, Josh, he's a top 15 player. And he went at the end of the round. We do this every year. So, and this team is not one player away, though. This team is not a Ruben Bain player away, not even Caleb Downs. But I'm taking the guys I know on Sunday I can bank that will actually do something for once. I'm taking someone who I can build around, and I'm taking Caleb Downs. Do I think I can build around Ruben Bain? I don't know. These pass rushers are too hit or miss for me. You're either going to get a Micah Parsons or an Aiden Hutchinson, or, you're going to get someone productive, or you're going to get a Michael Williams and a Shamar Stewart. I mean, even Abdul Carter, he didn't do nothing this season besides miss meetings and whatever the hell he was looking at on his phone. Like, I want an elite pass rusher. But if you take a pass rusher in the top 5 and he only gets you 4 or 5 sacks next season, that's not going to help this team win. That's not going to help this team win. They better be a double-digit sack machine off the rip. And I know pass rush is one of the biggest needs for this team next season, for sure. But it is so hit or miss. There is not one edge rusher from last year's draft that made a true impact this season. I'd say James Pierce Jr. is probably the best one. And even so, for what the Falcons had to trade to go get him, their first round pick is going to the Rams, and they're locked in for a top 10 pick. They might even get a top 6, 7 pick this year. So it wasn't worth it. What they got was not worth it. So I don't know whether I love David Bailey. I love Ruben Bain. I love Cassius Howell. I love Arvell Reese. I really like these guys, but man, the hit or miss percentage is just too high for me. I don't know. AP and front office have to be fully locked in this offseason. Defense has to be top priority. For sure, tell Devin Lloyd to get out of Jacksonville. Bro, we will throw you a bag. We need a linebacker like you. Bobby's gone. Devin Lloyd, come on over here. Get all them interceptions in Washington, and we'll be good. The season has definitely taken a toll on JD mentally, for sure. They all on different pages. They need more practice time together, for sure. The starts from day one practice is weak. Conditioning is soft. That's why the injuries piled up from day one, and the defense LPW league could score on them. Training camp was boring. Training camp was so boring. Practice was boring from what we were able to see. And it just sounded like that never changed, and all these injuries happened. We need to look at free agency and who we can get at this point. I'll for sure hit all that stuff. I'll do a lot of articles on free agency and everything. I like Downs, but man, I feel like we need to get Jaden a young playmaker to grow with. I agree with that too. But you only got 6 picks. I'm doing a mock draft tomorrow morning that comes out. So look for that as well. What is the deepest class this year, Josh? Talking about position. I think the wide receiver group has turned out really well, but you don't have a second round pick, so that kills you. I do think the edge rushers goes into early third. Thinking about late second guys like Zion Young, Uiagalelei from Oregon. I'm thinking Dani Dennis Sutton, those kind of guys. I would rather take either Carnell Tate in the first and say, or if they trade back and get a late second, or if they get an early third, then get a Zion Young or Dani Dennis Sutton or Uiagalelei or LT Overton, someone like that. I would much rather do that than take a Cassius Howell at 6 or 7 and you just pray that he is a demon next season, and then you get a third round wide receiver again. I'm going with option 1. Chase Young was one of the best pass rushers in college, but look what happened at the pros. It happens too much. The team has no identity for sure. I wanted Mike Green to look at him trash. He sucks this year. He ain't doing nothing. What about Howell from A&M? Yeah, I like him a lot, but as a top 10 pick, damn, I don't know. Quay Walker's definitely up there. Our Packers guy that writes for us says that he's really just not good in coverage, which kind of concerns me. I don't understand how AP didn't sign Sweat. Yeah, there's a lot that I was really taking a look at, and I get it. Once again, I get it. There are certain players that you're just I don't know what they're going to be. But at the same time, your answer was Von Miller, Dietrich Wise. You got ran all over by Saquon, and that was your answer. JTFB, wouldn't we be better off trading back to obtain more picks because our talent deficit? Absolutely. And like I said, that's something I was hitting heavy today. People are like, no, take the best one. But like, if you're talking about the difference between pick 5 and pick 10 this season, it's not different. It's not different. But you do need someone who's going to want to trade up. It depends on the quarterbacks. I mean, obviously, Mendoza is going to come out. He's a top 2 pick, either going 1 or 2, depends on who finishes with those top 2 picks. And then depends on like Dante Moore. If Ty Simpson comes out, I don't think Ty Simpson's going to be a top 10 pick anymore. He might even be like a second rounder. I think Ty goes back to school. But it depends. Wide receivers too. If Cardinal Tate, if someone wants to come up and get him, if someone wants to go get Arvell Reese, like you just never know. There's a lot of time between now and April. I get it. But if you're Washington and you have the 5th pick, and let's just say Dante Moore is on the board and the Jets have picks 7 or 8, and they want to come get their quarterback, then do it. Get that extra, say it's a late second, like a 4th next year or whatever. Like, do it. You need picks. 6 picks. And you only got 2 in the top 100. That is not enough. AP should be terrified of this offseason. But in a way where he's pissed off. Like he should want to go into this offseason and say, I'm going to take whatever we got right now and I'm going to work magic and show what I can do. That is what I want to see from AP this offseason. You only got 6 picks. Only 2 are in the top 100. AP, show me what you can do. I don't want another one of these drafts like we just had. I'm going to be honest with you. I love Trey Amos. I think he's going to be good. I think Josh Collins Jr. is going to be good. Like outside of that, what'd you get? Cam Madrano, we ain't seen nothing. I think Bill's going to be a good rotational running back. Is he running back 1? No. This team doesn't have a true running back 1. Jalen Lane, I ain't seen him, enough to be a wide receiver. He's going to be a great returner, sure. This team needs more than just a great returner. Like this team needs so much more. So for me, I don't feel good enough to say, okay, they take Ruben Bain at 6. They are good enough to make the playoffs now. Unless they just slay it in free agency, which who knows? Maybe they will. They'll have a decent amount of money, but they also have a ton of holes to fill. So you're going to see them revert back to what they did in the first offseason and sign guys like Tyler Biadasz and Dorrance Armstrong and hope that they can, take on bigger roles. And I like that approach. But then you're also going to see the Zach Ertz, the Bobby Wagner, the Austin Eckler's. You're going to see those contracts too. This team's only projected to have like 12 or 13 starters back next season. That's not good. We don't know when Dorrance Armstrong's going to be able to play. Like, it's not good. It's not good. What do they do with Mikey? Is Will Harris good enough to be the starting safety next year? There's so many questions with this team. What's going to happen with Frankie Louisville? Is Deron Payne going to be a player next year? He's one of the biggest cap hits on the team. If not the biggest. It's either him or Terry. What's going to happen with Deron Payne? Like, there's so many questions with this roster next season. I'm so concerned. I lose sleep over this. I think of ways to better the team. What do you think Mikey Sanders will roll as in defense next year? He does not look like an outside corner and terrible in the slot. That's what I'm just saying. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. If somebody knows, let me know. Do you think we need a better dominant running back Love or a dominant tight end Sadiq because we don't have them in the squad? For sure. But I think both of those can be filled in free agency. I love Jeremiah Love. No pun intended. And I love Kenyon Sadiq. I think they're both great prospects. But I'm looking at free agency. I'm looking at a loaded running back free agency class. And same with tight end. I think there's a lot of quality ones. And I think Isaiah Likely is going to be one of those guys. Obviously Kyle Pitts is going to be one of those guys. So if AP is going to be aggressive, go get one of those. Go get Rico Dowdle. Go get Kenneth Walker. I highly doubt some of those running backs are going to hit the market, but like Breece Hall, like go get one of those really good running backs. I think Jeremiah Love is a luxury pick And I don't think this team's good enough for a luxury pick. Unless you tell me that, Josh, they can trade back from 5 or 6, land at 7 or 8, get some more picks so they can get another player in this draft, then I'm like, okay, take Jeremiah Love. But if you have 6 picks in the draft and your first one is Jeremiah Love, once again, he has to be dominant next season, and your free agent moves on defense have to be stellar. Which, if they do that, then sure, I'm all in. I'm not saying don't draft Jeremiah Love, because if you tell me he's going to be like Jahmyr Gibbs in 2 years, I'm like, hell yeah, go get Jeremiah Love. This team just needs good players, like straight up. I don't care if it's kicker, long snapper, punter. This team just needs good players, okay? This team lacks good players, which is a bad problem to have. But I just feel like that kind of pick, they have to have a crazy offseason in free agency to say, if Jeremiah Love's on the board, we're taking him. It's like man, your offense better score 40 points every game. But they do need a top running back like him. But I'm telling you, free agency class looks good. I'm telling y'all know offseason Josh is a different beast. Offseason Josh, I'm like Captain America coming out of that chamber, man. Like, I love me the offseason. I'm going to love me the offseason even more this year because I can't wait for this shit to end. I can't wait for the season to end. Although a cheaper option for me would probably be Christian Harris, Roll Tide, and Nakobe Dean. Go Dogs. But I do like Nakobe Dean. Josh, who do we get to fix this team that's all in the offseason? Everybody. I will definitely get more into it article-wise coming up. We should have kept Chin. He wasn't good either, honestly. I don't think he was good. Need more picks so we can get more Sanats and Newtons. Newton is the only one that's like actually playing a decent amount, and I'm just like, all right, man, we need to see more. I don't hear this a lot, but what should we do regarding tight end? I'm actually writing about tight ends right now. Now that Zach Ertz is hurt, I'm gonna put that out first thing in the morning. But the rest of the season, we're gonna see what Ben's got. Ben and Colson Yankoff, in my opinion, are better receivers than John Bates. I think John Bates is a stellar blocking tight end. But if you're not using Ben and Colson in the passing game in these last 4 weeks, then that's malpractice. You are failing as a coach. And I'm not talking about just those beneath routes that they be running with Ben Snelling. I want to see some seam routes. I want to see some out routes. I want to see him sit in the zone. I want to see what he can do after the catch. Like, I want to see them actually try. We talk about developing. We talk about, Jayden needing in-game reps. Everybody needs in-game reps. Unless you're Bobby Wagner and you've been doing it since before I was born. Everybody that is going to be here next season needs in-game reps. If you're a free agent, you're probably not coming back, so I'm taking you off the field. But I want 2 tight end package. I want Ben Sinan in the slot. I want John Bates in line, chipping somebody. And I want Ben just going out for a catch, man. Like, for the love of God. I saw this dude route up my Alabama Crimson Tide in the bowl game. And you mean to tell me that they're just giving him beneath routes? All right, I'm about to get up off here. Y'all had me worked up tonight. Do you think Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans is an option? I mean, I think he would be for us, but I don't think the Titans are going to let him go. I don't think so. That's like the one building block the Titans do have. Does AP make more of a splash in free agency or the draft? I think it dictates each other. Honestly, man, I think he has to make splashes in free agency. Even though it's not the craziest free agent class, I think people are seriously underrating what is going to be out there. So I'm just looking at all teams available position. I'm telling y'all, running back, I think that's where he makes a splash in running back. And people are like, oh my God, don't give a running back a big contract. But just look at it. Rico Dowdle, Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, J.K. Dobbins coming off his injury. We'll see. I know there's more. Rashad White, Brian Robinson, psych. Tyler Algier, I doubt Falcons are gonna let him leave, but we'll see. Keaton Mitchell, like, there's a lot of options. But if you can leave free agency with Rico Dowdle or Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker, one of those guys that's probably going to actually hit the free agent market. Kenneth Walker, you give him a 3-year deal. He's projected to only make $9 million a year. His first year salary cap hit's probably going to be, if I had to guess, like $5 million. It's not going to be a lot. If he actually does get $9 million a year, yeah, his first hit's going to be nothing. So like they're going to have opportunities, but you also have to fill out all of these guys who are probably not going to be here next season. Travis Etienne is projected to get 6.5 a year. Javonte Williams is projected to get 6.6 a year. Rico Dowdle is projected just under 8 a year. Breece Hall is projected to get 10.4 a year. So if you want to pay money, then sure, you have him. But even if they get Travis Etienne or Javonte Williams, like I'm cool with that. Like just get a bona fide running back one who's shown that they can produce. Him, Chris Rodriguez, and Bill Krosky-Merritt next season, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. If you told me that Adam Peters is going to sign he'll be 28 at the time, 28-year-old Rico Dowdle next offseason, hell yeah, that is a free agency win, man. That is a free agency win. And then same with tight end, David Njoku. We'll see what happens there. Dallas Goedert, I'm good. Kyle Pitts. Darren Waller, no. Kate Otten, he just stays hurt. Isaiah Likely, like I'm saying, man, if you can get Isaiah Likely or you can get Kyle Pitts or David Njoku, give me one of those three. Like that's a free agency dub. Kyle Pitts is projected 11.6 a year. David Njoku is projected 10.7 a year, and Isaiah Likely is projected about 10.5 a year, so not bad. I think that's what I'm really looking at. Same linebacker. I mean, the clear ones are Devin Lloyd projected 20 a year. Ooh, dang. That's a lot. I'd say Quay Walker, Devin Lloyd. I wouldn't mind Quincy Williams, Alex Singleton. I don't care if he's 32. He still balls out, and he was great against us. Alex Anzalone, if they let him leave. God, Demario Davis is still playing at 37, almost is insane. Matt Milano, hit or miss. There's some solid linebackers for sure. But I mean, for me, if you can get Devin Lloyd, but geez, that's gonna be expensive. There's like two other ones I really like: Leo Chenal, Nakobe Dean, Christian Harris. There's a couple other solid depth guys, but yeah, any of those tier 1, tier 2 guys. So, I mean, there's a lot of options in free agency. There's a lot, but AP's gotta just actually swing. Is Washington from the Steelers? I don't think so. I think they just drafted him not that long ago. But time does fly. No. Connor Hayward. No. I'm about to say they drafted him like what, 2-3 years ago? So he's still under contract. We need another 1B receiver for sure. So anyways, y'all, it is about time for Monday Night Football. I've been on here for over an hour, so I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Appreciate y'all tuning in for the rant. I mean, guys, it is okay to be upset with this team. I'm telling you, it is okay to be upset with this team because you should be. 31-0. That's the worst loss of the NFL season. Not just for Washington. Anybody. And just the lack of, I don't even say lack. There's no competitive spirit in this team. Not competitive whatsoever. Like, you have to look at the locker room. You got to look at the coaching staff. The inconsistencies with Jayden Daniels' injury and how Dan Quinn's handling it. There's a lot to be worried about with this team. The roster sucks. The coaching staff is not giving you any kind of hope. And the team that had this brotherhood last season in the locker room when they were playing together and they're playing for Dan Quinn, they're not playing for Dan Quinn anymore. They're not playing for each other anymore. And I'm sure if you talk to the players and ask them, sure, yeah, they are. But 31-0? Where was the fight in that game? I can understand if it was 31-28. Yeah, the Broncos game lost the Broncos game last week, 27-26. We saw it then. But what the hell happened in this last game? There was zero excuse to lose 31-0 unless you just didn't know there was a game until halftime. It blows my mind how that was even a possibility to happen. I honestly thought they were going to win that game. I thought it'd be close, but I thought they would win that game. And it was just the complete opposite what we saw. So be mad, be upset. Don't be mad at Jayden, though. Don't sit here and say, like, oh, we picked the wrong quarterback. We need to trade Jayden. I'm done with Jayden. I give up on Jayden. Don't do that yet. Don't do that yet. And I get it. People are mad. People are frustrated. I told you, I am tuned. If you were tuning in for this whole stream, we got almost 1,000 people in here right now. If you were in here for this whole stream, you saw me get mad. You saw me pop off on DQ because I'm frustrated. I'm pissed. But if you have watched this whole season and you watched that game on Sunday and said, "Man, that was Jayden's fault," then I got nothing for you. I'm not the guy for you. I'm not the guy you need to be listening to. You need to listen to the local Washington radio that just yells and don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's who you need to listen to. Because I'm sure eventually one of them is going to turn on Jayden. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Somebody in the local radio is going to turn on Jayden any day now. But that's not me. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm feeling. But I'm not going to ever be just that yelling, attention grabbing. I'm going to think with a clear head every day. I wake up, think about this team. I cover this team for a living. I dissect this team apart. What's wrong with it? But I'm not going to ever just be like, oh, it's Jayden's fault. Unless I actually thought it was. But the injuries and the lack of weapons and the defense playing from behind all the time, it is beyond Jayden Daniels of why this team is as bad as it is. Jayden Daniels is one of my least concerns playing-wise when I watched that Vikings game. Was he good? No. Did he get hurt? Yep, and it sucked, and he didn't come back. But the defense and what we saw, I mean, Marcus Mariota sucked too. Like, everybody was just bad. My biggest concern is Dan Quinn. What happened on, and I don't want to hear like, oh, it's not the standard. It was bad. We know that. We know that it was bad. You ain't got to tell us, oh, it wasn't okay on any level. Well, no shit. We saw that it wasn't okay on any level. He had 0 points. And one of the worst offenses in the league dropped 31 on you. No duh. It was a bad game. That's just not going to cut it anymore. Do I think Dan Quinn's going to get fired? No, I don't. Unless you just get blown out these last 4 games. If they lose the last 4 games, say they lose to the Giants close. Let's just say it's like 17-13. And if they lose to the Eagles by 20 points or more, the Cowboys by 20 points or more, and then the Eagles by 20 points or more again, that seat's going to be hot. That seat's going to be hot. And I hate to say it. I'm not saying I hope he gets fired. That's not me. But I'm just saying this is the first time I have had genuine concerns with DQ. I love DQ. I want him to turn this around. But just the blowouts we've seen this year, and save me the excuses about injuries, because that's crap. Every team in the league has injuries. And like I said, if the injuries are that bad to the team, then you did not prepare this team. You didn't prepare this team. You didn't build the team properly, and you did not coach this team, and you didn't practice with this team properly. If a few injuries to some starters led to 4 straight 21-point or more losses, and then getting blown out to the Vikings in an 8-game losing streak, including to the Dolphins and to the Bears. Like, if injuries did that much damage, then that's on the coaches. Then this team was not ready for this kind of season. You're not practicing right. You're not taking care of the players right. You're not doing something right. So save it. There's not an injury in the world that should have had you get blown out 31-0 to the Vikings. Not an injury in the world. Jayden, Terry, it does not matter. If Jayden and Terry both didn't play, this team should have still scored something because they haven't played majority of the season and they showed that they can score. So I'm once again, I'm not calling DQ to get fired, but I'm telling y'all, there has to be something like you did not even fire your defensive coordinator, Joe Witt Jr. You didn't fire him. You just demoted him and told him to get behind the curtains for the rest of the season. That's crazy, man. And it was weeks late. You got blown out by the Cowboys, got blown out by the Chiefs, got blown out by the Seahawks, got blown out by the Lions. And that's when you finally made the change after that Lions game. Finally made the change. But you didn't even fire him. You just told him to go hide while you take over. But now it's on you. There's no one else to look at. You're the defensive-minded head coach. They dropped 31 on your head. So now you're the person we're looking at for answers. And we're not getting any. We're not getting any. So we'll see how these last 4 games turn out. Regardless, I'm going to go live after every single one. We play the Giants on Sunday night. I'll go live Monday night, the 15th at 7 o'clock. We play the Eagles on Saturday night on the 20th. Waste of a Saturday. Alabama plays the day before, thankfully. Hopefully they win. God, I cannot handle 2 back-to-back losses. So I'll go live that Sunday night, and then we play the Cowboys on Christmas Day. I'll go live the next day. I will be watching on Christmas with the rest of y'all. Not everybody's going to be watching on Christmas Day. I'll be watching it. And then in the game or in the season against the Eagles once again. So we'll see what happens. But I said this too. A win against the Giants, if they even win, is not going to change my opinion on this team. That is a random ass win. It's not some hard-fought, deserved, we're a better team. Save that. If they beat the Giants, I don't care if they beat them by 20. That is a random win. And then we're going to hear DQ and the team talk about, we can win. We're built for success. Absolutely not. You got 8 straight losses, my guys. You couldn't steal one win anywhere in that 8-game stretch. This team's just not built for long-term success right now. It is not. Can they get a random win? Sure, because it's the NFL. Anyone can win on any Sunday. But I'm telling you, if they beat the Giants, don't expect me to go, guys, the roster's fine. The coaching staff's fine. Let's run it back next year. It's too late for that. It is too late for that. Now, if you just went out the rest of the season and you beat the Giants, you beat the Eagles twice, you beat the Cowboys once, then we'll have a conversation. I'm going to ask you what the hell happened the other 8 games before that, but that's not going to happen. This team is not winning out. They might get one more win, and if they do, it might be against the Giants, but I'm still not confident in it. So we'll see. But I'm telling you, if they win the Giants, don't expect me to come on here and be rah, this team's back. We're a playoff contender next season. I need to see more. I need to see more from everybody. I need to see more from the players. I need to see more from the coaches. Man, I would love for them just to hold a AP press conference this week and be like, AP, what do you think about this team? What do you think about this team? Maybe someone this week will ask Dan Quinn, are you going to play Jayden, and are you going to make up your mind? Is he going to play if he's healthy, or is he only going to play when the team's playing right? Are you only going to play when they're up by a certain amount of points? Are you only going to play when the defense isn't giving up 31 points? What are the exact criteria for Jayden Daniels to play? He's not going to be fully healthy this season. So that's not it. But you said if he's healthy, he's going to play. But he was clear to come back, and you didn't play him. So why? That's all I want. So I appreciate y'all. That was my rant. Honestly, if AP or a coach, I would be like, listen, bro, use them or lose them because we need picks regarding the year 1-2 talent. I mean, at this point, if you have, if there's a lot of pending free agents, so you're obviously not going to trade them because they're just going to leave in the offseason. There's no one's going to trade for, just not going to happen. But the only players I can think they can actually trade is like Deron Payne. unless they just trade Terry, which I don't see that happening. But Deron Payne is the only player. I mean, Frankie Louvu. If they want to move on from Frankie Louvu, but then Jordan McGee's got to stay healthy next season. Even if they get a free agent, even if they draft somebody, Jordan McGee has to be healthy all next season. Or you better start playing Cam Madrano and you better start playing Ale Cahill finally, which they haven't done, except for like special teams. But like I said, I appreciate y'all for coming on here. It's a tough one. It's not pretty. These are not the fun streams to have. But like I said, y'all, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna just go off and anything I say, it's how I truly feel. I'm not gonna just pop off on here and say some crazy out of pocket stuff just to get attention, like you see all these other media outlets and radio shows. Like, it's not me. But I'm still gonna keep it honest with you. I'm still gonna keep it real with you. I'm still all in on Jayden Daniels. I'm on the fence about DQ because I just haven't seen enough to say that he can do it. And I'm genuinely concerned with this roster. Genuinely concerned. I'm still in on AP too. I still trust him. I still think he can turn things around. But I truly think he learned a tough lesson this season. I think this was a reality check. You got that little taste of success last season. And you said, oh man, we're so close. We are so close. And you just didn't do enough. You didn't capitalize. I think AP is going to look back on the season and be like, man, I messed up. I should have done more. These little injuries would not have, set the team back as much when you're rolling out Von Miller more and, Jacob Martin to stop the run. They're in Preston Smith. Like, it's not going to get the job done, y'all. It's not going to get the job done. So we'll see. 4 more games. Do they win another one? I don't know. At this point, we're on draft pick watch. They have pick 6. They have, I don't know, every website has a different odds for them getting a top 5 pick. But as far as I'm concerned, they're going to get a top 5 pick because I don't see them winning another game. I don't think they beat the Giants. That game on Sunday will drastically shift the entire draft. The game against the Giants will drastically shift the entire draft because the Giants have a number 1 pick right now. If the Giants win that game, they fall so far. But even in week 15, is it week 15 or the next week? Like Saints, Panthers, I don't know. We need the Saints to keep winning. But like the Raiders play the Eagles, they're going to lose. The Jets play the Jaguars, they're going to lose. The Browns play the Bears, they'll probably lose that one. Week 16 is where things, I want to say, get interesting. Which one is the week where, Jets, Saints play each other. That's a big one. Raiders are not going to win another game this season. Straight up. Not going to win another game this season. Jets and Saints is a big game. Titans play the Chiefs. They're not going to win that. Browns play the Bills. They're not going to win that. And then I want to say the Titans play the Saints 1 game 2. If ESPN would actually load. Let's see. Raiders and Giants. That's another massive one. Giants are going to win that game, so that's another win for them. And Titans and Saints play week 17. So week 17 is massive. We'll lose to the Cowboys, and then you got Titans and Saints for battle position, and you got the Giants and the Raiders for draft position too. So this game against the Giants, week 15 is massive for the draft, but then there's some games week 16, 17, and 18 that can drastically shake things up as well. So, but I'm just glad it's December. I'm glad there's only 4 more games left. Honestly, I'm just ready for this season to end. So, but be sure to check out the website, A2Zsports.com. See it at the bottom left there. Just go to the Washington Commanders page. I will have my mock draft out tomorrow. I'm going to drop it at 9 a.m. is usually when I do it. And I'll have a tight end article going up at either 5:30 or 6 a.m. in the morning. So keep an eye on that as well. But I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Like I said, we had a lot of people up here in the chat, and y'all listened to me rant for a long time, and I appreciate y'all's comments, questions, concerns, rants as well in the chat as always. And I will see y'all Yeah, this time next week. We do play Sunday. So I'll see y'all next time, this time next week. So appreciate it. Have a good week and stay strong. Stay strong.